Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends, Wooden Railway Adventures. Episode 79, Rosie being lazy. Rosie had been working hard all day, and she was very, very tired. She wanted to go home to a nice warm shed, but she couldn't. All the spots in the shed were full. Please, she said, I've been working very hard all day. I think I deserve a nice warm shed. Sorry, said Mavis. We got here early to reserve our spots. Yes, said Wilbur. If you want a spot in the shed, come early. But I've been working really hard. Sorry, Rosie, said Fergus. Too bad. If you want another spot, try around the other side. All right, said Rosie, and she puffed around to the other side. When she got there, all the spots were full. Oh dear, said Rosie. This isn't fair. All the spots are full, she said. And plus it's all full of diesels. Who wants to sleep with diesels anyway? I'm a diesel, said Mavis. Well, yeah, right, said Rosie, but you don't count. Anyway, please, can I sleep in the shed? Nope, said Mavis. Please? Nope. Please, Fergus, can I sleep in the shed? Oh, fine, said Fergus. What? Said Wilbur and Mavis. It wouldn't hurt for one night, said Fergus, would it? I guess not, said Mavis and Wilbur, but they were cross that Fergus gave in. The next day, Rosie was feeling very lazy again. Oh, dear Fergus, since your generosity is greatly appreciated. It is, said Fergus. Yes, said Rosie. The shed was so warm last night. Oh, it feels like my wheels have melted. Could you go fetch my train? Sure, said Fergus. What is it? It's a soda or dairy cars. Be quick about it. Yes, I will, said Fergus, and he puffed away. All right, this has to stop. You can't control Fergus. I can if I want, said Rosie. It's his own choice if he wants to take orders from me. Pah, take orders from you? You must have brainwashed him to think you can do that. You're just Oh, Rosie, called Fergus. What is it, Fergus? Asked Rosie. The train's ready. Oh, really? Said Rosie. Hold that thought, Mavis. I have to go. And Rosie rushed away. Fergus had gotten the soda or dairy cars all ready. Fergus, this is so nice of you. Oh, thank you, said Fergus. I did it all by myself. Oh, that's so nice of you. Fergus was very flattered, and he puffed away. For the entire day, Rosie pulled the soda or dairy cars. Then she came back to the shed, but there was the same thing as last time. Rosie was the last one there. Please, Fergus, can I sleep in the shed? Oh, sure. 2 nights in a row won't hurt. Now Mavis and Wilbur were very annoyed. The next day, Rosie did the same thing. Please, Fergus, I have to pull a nap for the express coach today. Could you go get it for me? Certainly, ma'am, said Fergus, and he puffed away. Certainly, ma'am, said Mavis and Wilbur. Rosie, this is so unfair. You're just being so lazy that you can't admit it. What's that, Fergus? The train's ready? Oh, sorry, guys. I have to go. Goodbye. The train wasn't ready, though. Fergus left like 10 seconds ago. I know, said Wilbur. She's just too afraid that she can't admit it. But Fergus was very quick about it, and the train was ready soon. Oh, Fergus, this is so nice of you, said Rosie. Oh, thanks, said Fergus. I did it all by myself. Oh, that's so nice of you, said Rosie. Thank you, said Fergus, and he puffed away. Rosie pulled the Snafford Express coach the entire day. Now it was becoming a habit for Fergus. Every single night he left the spot open for Rosie. Wilbur and Mavis were getting tired of it. This has got to stop, they said. Fergus is not getting treated well. The next day, however, there was more trouble. Fergus, she said, I'm going to go see Catherine. Could you bring her over here? Certainly, said Fergus, and he puffed away. All right, said Wilbur, this has to stop. You're just using Fergus because you're too lazy. Bish posh, said Rosie. It's his choice if he wants to serve me or not. Serve? Huh, an engine as dumb as Fergus could be the only engine on the railway who would want to serve you. Excuse you for using that such tone of language, using the tone of your voice, said Rosie. If you were Fergus, you would know not to do that. Pish posh, we're not Fergus, Wilbur. Now get along with your train and go fetch Catherine yourself. Huh, I will, said Rosie, but she didn't. Fergus did indeed bring Catherine into the yard. Oh, thank you, Fergus, said Rosie. That's so nice of you. Thank you very much, Rosie, he said. You're certainly welcome, said Rosie. And Rosie puffed away with Catherine. Fergus came back to the shed. Ah, yes, said Fergus. It's so nice working for Rosie. Yes, it is, said Mavis. Really, you guys? You think so? Absolutely not, said Wilbur. It's so unfair. She's taking advantage of you. She is, said Fergus. Mavis and Wilbur were related what had happened those entire 2 weeks. 2 weeks, said Fergus. Oh dear, man, she is good at this. I'm sorry to say, but she is. Anyway, you need to put a stop to it. Okay, said Fergus, I will. Just then, Coldy arrived. Hey, you guys, said Coldy. Have you seen Catherine anywhere? Mavis and Wilbert looked at Fergus. Said Fergus. Yeah, Rosie has her. Why'd you give her to her? I personally do not know, said Fergus, and he wasn't lying. Coldy puffed away anyway. That night, Fergus didn't resist. He had a plan in mind. The next day, Rosie had a train to pull. Fergus, can you go? Certainly, I will. And Fergus puffed away. I didn't even tell him what I needed to get, though. Oh, he's probably so used to it, he's probably reading your mind. Yes, reading your mind indeed, said Mavis. Ooh, man, he's good, said Rosie. I am impressed. And Rosie puffed away. However, unfortunately, the train was the zoo cars. Rosie had never pulled the zoo cars before. Here you go, Rosie. The zoo cars? Oh, thanks, Fergus, but I wasn't supposed to pull these. Oh, yes, you were. I talked with Sir Topham Hatt about. Really, said Rosie. Oh, that's so sweet of you. Thank you, Fergus. You're welcome, said Fergus, and he popped back to the shed. All right, you guys, the plan's in order. Great job, Fergus, said Mavis. Oh, thank you very much, said Fergus. Rosie began pulling the zoo cars, but they were very noisy and loud and bumpy. She was cross. This is so unfair, she said. I'm telling Sir Topham Hatt. Rosie marched right back to the yard with Sir Topham Hatt on board. Sir Topham Hatt, she said, this is totally unfair. What's unfair, said Sir Topham Hatt. He was not in the mood for arguing. Rosie explained the situation. Fergus got me the wrong cars today. Well, said Fergus, guess what you've been doing all week? The last 2 weeks. Remember that? Oh, yes, the last 2 weeks. Gosh, she is good at brainwashing people. I can't even remember what day it is. Anyway, said Fergus, what have you been doing the last 2 weeks? Working very, very hard, sir, said Rosie. Yeah, right, said Mavis. What's going on here, he said. Rosie is using Fergus to go get her cars and everything. Said Rosie. You know that nobody on Sodor is supposed to gather cars for another engine unless I say so. I never asked Fergus to go get your cars, so you're in violation. Oh dear, said Rosie. I'm sorry, sir. You should be, said Sir Topham Hatt. You will have to serve at your punishment will be very, very severe. Rosie has never learned to take full advantage of any engine on Sodor ever again, and she knows that she was very silly during that time. She is not lazy anymore, and is proud to do her work, knowing that she has done the entire thing.